The Los Angeles Lakers have been rolling recently, to say the least. And is their defense good enough to carry them to a championship? I'm Sean Davis. Make sure you guys turn on those post notification bells and subscribe to the channel for more great content and coverage of the Lakers. Follow me on X/Twitter at Sean_DAVI for more great content about the Lakers and about the league in general. And go check out the Sports Headline Show for other NBA content. The Lakers defense has been on a tear ever since making some schematic and tactical adjustments dating back to the January 23rd game against the Boston Celtics. The Lakers have been absolutely, unequivocally on one. Since January 23rd, in this stretch of 18 games, the Lakers have turned things around defensively. They are first in the league in defensive rating with a 107.4 defensive rating. If you look at net rating, the Lakers are third in the league, only behind arguably the two best teams in the league right now, the Oklahoma City Thunder and Cleveland Cavaliers in net rating, while also being boasting a 15-3 record, where two of those losses are pretty fluke losses against teams like the Charlotte Hornets and the Utah Jazz. So the Lakers could very easily be looking at a 17-1 stretch and be sitting at 40 wins right now. And their defense is the catalyst for the reason why the Lakers now, after some results from the past two nights, why the Lakers are now sitting nice and pretty as a 2 seed currently in a loaded Western Conference. But like I said, the question is, are the Lakers, not only are they title contenders and title favorites maybe even, but can the defense carry them to a championship? Well, historically, the answer is, I think a yes. Since 1990, you've historically needed, so we're looking at a 35-year sample size. You've needed a top 12 defense to win a championship. Only teams that have won an NBA championship and did not have a top 12 regular season defense were the 2000-2001 Los Angeles Lakers and the 2023 Denver Nuggets. Now, those are two big outliers because, number one, the 2001 Lakers were really injured. And then in the playoffs, they flipped the light switch. You have Shaq and Kobe. Like, that goes beyond saying. Two of the most talented players in NBA history. Two of the 6 greatest basketball players of all time. Honestly, probably 2 of the 5 greatest basketball players of all time. And then the 2023 Nuggets team would middle of the pack, and then they kind of just stopped caring about basketball that last month of the season, and they were a top 5 defense in the playoffs that also had the best player on the planet. So I think there is a reason, there's some wiggle room there. That Denver team was the 15th best regular season defense. And then if you go back, even like if we looked at last year's Boston team, Boston last year had the second best defense. So again, historically speaking, you need a top 12 defense basically. And then technically you also, it would, be beneficial for you if you had like at least a top 15 offense. There's a couple of outliers. The 2022 Warriors team was 17th in offensive rating during the regular season. The 1994 Houston Rockets was 15th in offensive rating during the regular season. Right now, well, let's start with this current stretch of games. Over this stretch, the Lakers are 10th in offensive rating, and overall on the season, the Lakers are 10th in offensive rating. So they're 10th in offensive rating overall. They're 13th in defensive rating overall. And in this stretch, the Lakers are 10th in offensive rating and first in defensive rating. That's a title contender. That's a team that can legitimately win an NBA championship. I don't think the Lakers are getting enough credit for how serious of a threat they are to win an NBA championship. I think there was a lot of chatter, and some of it deservedly so. There was a lot of chatter about the Lakers defense as they're trading Anthony Davis. And I don't want this to become a conversation where it's, the Lakers defense is better because AD's gone and things of that nature. I think the timing is really bad to where you can kind of paint that narrative. This stretch that I'm referring to, a play, goes back to that January 23rd game against the Boston Celtics, which Anthony Davis played in. This also includes a January 25th game against the Golden State Warriors, which Anthony Davis played in. January 27th game against Charlotte Hornets, which AD played in. So it's just really unfortunate timing. But right around this time, when AD's last games is when they kind of flipped the switch defensively. So I don't want, like I said, I don't want to make this a Lakers got better because they traded Anthony Davis. I don't want that to be the discussion or the narrative here. Now, going back to the initial question, can the Lakers defense carry them to a title? I think their defense is good enough to win, to be a part of the reason why they win a title. I don't think their defense is going to be the sole reason why they win a title, for an example, right? Like, I think if OKC wins an NBA championship this year, I'm using them as the example. I think outside of it being Shea, I think it's actually going to be the defense. Like, the way they speed you up, the way they make you play, how physical they are defensively, and they do foul a lot. And just their defensive playmaking, the rotations that they have. I think that is going to be the biggest reason why OKC wins a title. Where for LA, the defense can be good enough to win them a title, but I don't think it's going to be the biggest reason why they win a title. Because if it is the biggest reason why the Lakers win a title, honestly, I think that's a bad thing. And I don't, because I think there are certain matchups still as good as their defense has been. And that is why I have April 6th pinned on my calendar if I'm a Laker fan. Against the Thunder. I want to see the Lakers defense against the Thunder. And then it sucks because you don't play this team anymore. But the team in the league that scares me the most, and this Lakers defense, I've talked about this in the past, this Lakers defense kind of reminds me of Dallas's defense a little bit last season, one key way. I'll get to that in a sec. But there's one team in the league that scares the hell out of me. That's the Cleveland Cavaliers. Because of how Cleveland plays offensively. Cleveland isn't necessarily a Boston. And you'll see Boston on Saturday, and maybe not having AD is going to really, really change some of the stuff schematically that you're able to do against them last time around. So Boston on Saturday, it's going to be a really, really fun test. But when I look at Cleveland, I think a Cleveland Finals matchup for you defensively is going to be eerily similar. Going back to my Dallas comparison, it's going to be eerily similar to what the Dallas-Boston matchup was last season in terms of the Lakers want to switch. They want to do a lot of stuff. But Cleveland is going to, one, outsize you. They're going to be just bigger than you with Evan Mobley, with Jared Allen. But then also, so like you're going to have to, are you throwing Braun at Evan Mobley? They have the lineup versatility to where if you go small, okay, we'll go Evan Mobley at the 5. I think, and not being negative, the Lakers' point of attack options, the Cavs getting DeAndre Hunter a real wing that can handle and create his own shot off the catch even is so important for them in a potential Lakers series because there's 5 guys on the floor that you have to guard. And it's like Evan Mobley becoming a mismatch hunter this season is big for them. And then at the point of attack, you have 2 guards that can just dice up any pick and roll coverage in Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, particularly in a Lakers series. Now, they have to guard you, right? And that's when the 2 big stuff could potentially be a problem. But guarding Cleveland is the one matchup where I'm like, yeah, I just don't, and maybe I'm being a little bit pessimistic, I don't see a real pathway to that working without some serious scheme adjusting heading into that series against the Cavs. But and maybe there's a couple other matchups that you could run into some serious problems with. But the Lakers are absolutely rolling right now on the defensive end. We're going to end this on a positive. This team has a good enough defense to win a title. They do. Jackson Hayes is playing good basketball right now. Like, objectively, he's playing good. And I saw a tweet that I completely agree with. I think the narrative about Jackson Hayes is just going to be a little bit slower to catch up to what his actual play is. Again, 26 minutes last night, plus 11, 7 boards, 2 blocks. He has some detractors to him, if that makes sense. He's not a perfect defender. He's not AD, if that makes sense. But he has a lot of stuff that he provides for you that allows for the scheme to work even defensively. And that's super, super cool. Jared Vanderbilt's return. Rui Hachimura buying in defensively. Dorian Finney-Smith and his impact. LeBron James being a legitimately really, really good defender over the past month is incredible. Luka Doncic being a pretty solid team defender. He's really, really bad at the point of attack. But as a team defender, he's actually really, really solid. Like, to answer the question, can the Lakers defense carry them to a title? I don't think it'll carry them. So I think if you're going to ultimately make a run to the title, Luka, Braun, and AR have to be special, and your role players have to hit, catch, and shoot threes. But their defense is championship level historically, and they're playing like historically in terms of what the stats are saying. And I think what we are seeing on the film and in real gameplay also supports that as well. So, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Can the Lakers defense help get them to an NBA Finals? I'm Sean Davis. Follow me on X/Twitter at Sean_DAVI. And as always, go Lake Show. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.